We are here today with
Tonya Signer.
And Angela James.
Tonya. What exactly is your job title?
Well, it is Vice President of Operations. It's also Sales Manager, Account Exec. I think that's what it would be, right? and also on air, co-host with the Drive Home guys.
I am a senior marketing consultant.
So you guys have worked here at the radio station for over 25 years, but
Mhm.
exactly how long has it been for you both?
Well, it was 26 years in June of this year, so that's approximately how long it's been for me.
And I've been here, it will be 27 years in February.
So what exactly are your job duties as far as working here at the station, day basis? What do you do?
Well, we set appointments with clients and have meetings, and then we take that information and work up a proposal for them, get commercials ready, scripts ready, and then Millie, our copywriter, gets that together, and other people produce it, and then we email it to them or play it over the phone for them. And each client's different, so we just do it each for, I guess, individual clients. Everyone's different. But on a day-to-day basis, putting out fires and the last minute people that need to get on and things like that. But overall, that's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
What she just said, plus,
Yeah.
she took care of she took care of the sales portion of it,
Yeah.
which is very easy. Well, not easy, but I mean it is different on a daily basis because you may be putting together proposals for one client and doing creative for another, and basically maybe writing. Well, that's creative, but recording for another, but also following up with another.
And the back and forth.
The back and forth. And on top of that, I basically oversee the station, the day-to-day operations, whether just day-to-day stuff. I also make sure that fees are paid, BMI, CSAC, ASCAP, GMR, and mainly reported on too, because there's a lot of things that go on in the background that, it's a little bit more than just we get to listen to radio and commercials, music and commercials. There's a lot of working parts that go to that. And then in addition to, obviously, I'm co-host with the Flex and BD for the Drive Home. And that's a little added stuff. We try to make people laugh throughout the day. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but we have a lot of fun. So that's basically a lot of it in a nutshell. And what Angela said, there are a lot of working parts, and it's just not her and I in this building. Because if we have one person, it kind of slows, one person gone, it kind of slows the process. Because everyone in the building is an important part.
Yeah, from the copywriter to, producing the spots and just going back and forth with everything. We couldn't do it without our whole team.
And not only that, but getting everything scheduled to be on the air. With that person not here, it will slow the process down, as well as if we didn't have music for people to listen to. There's a lot of working parts that go behind it.
Mm-hmm. Probably the favorite part of the job would be the rapport with my clients and making friends of my clients. It's funny how that works, but over the years you just build that friendship.
Well, there's a few. What Angela said, but also, you're not doing the same thing each and every day. You may be, but in a different way. And you do have a lot of fun. You do have a lot of freedom. Being a salesperson, you do have a lot of freedom. But also, all of the relationships we make here at the station. But the best part is hearing success stories from clients and how the advertising, hey, we had a lot of people show up for this event. And just to hear that, because obviously we know radio works. we wouldn't have been in it for so long if it didn't. But we know it works. And that's probably one of my favorites, just to hear the success stories. And there are a ton of success stories. And in a nutshell, I mean, that's just one of my favorite parts. That's why we have been here for over 25 years.
Yeah.
Since you began this job, how much has it changed?
Oh, wow. Well, from when I started, we still had some reel-to-reel that we would use for commercial taping, things like that. Then we went to cassettes and CDs. So our clients would send those to us, and we would use those to dub on if they weren't coming in or whatever. The reel-to-reel, we would use that. That was my most frightening thing, was to use that reel-to-reel, because I didn't do it as much as some of the others. And so getting all that set up and putting them on and, everything, that was, I guess, my scariest part when I started, was doing the reel-to-reel. But, and then we saw our clients face to face, because we didn't have computers. We didn't even have a computer at our desk or anything like that. So it was, on the street, and we were door to door seeing the clients. So that's a huge change, because now they like to email most of the time, or even text, and we can get work done so much faster, quicker, to just go back and forth that way with commercials or scripts or approvals and things like that, than to have to get in the car and go from one place to the next seeing everyone.
Well, as far as, radio in general, like Angela mentioned, the reel-to-reels, even before that, they were cart machines. They look like 8-track tapes, if you know what that is. And it was a lot more difficult to record on, because you made a mistake, you had to start all over. Now, you make a mistake, you cut and paste, which makes it
So much easier.
way easier and quicker. As far as the sales aspect, Angela's correct. We didn't have computers. We may have had one upstairs, but eventually, but we did a lot of proposals, and we took proposals out. Well, right now, I basically just put schedules together, which, that's all that people want. I can tell you radio works. It just does. I don't need a lot of, background information to let you know exactly how it works, because all of our success stories speak for itself. But it has changed a lot just because of technology. Not only that, we don't have records in the building. We do have CDs that we very rarely play, because it's all on computer.
Yeah,
That's
technology.
That's probably the biggest change. And like Angela mentioned, yes, we had to go see clients face to face. That's how we actually got them on the air, or phone calls, or remember pagers?
Oh, yes.
Those I wanted to throw, but
I forgot about those.
No, who has a pager nowadays?
Yeah.
But and then we would fax. We'd fax everything. I very rarely fax anything anymore. It's usually scanned and emailed, like Angela mentioned.
And our cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have cell phones or anything like that. So, people texting us, like I said, that is just unreal how fast you can get back and forth with people.
And that's made our job easier, because we can get back to them a lot quicker. And so I guess the center of everything, it's changed because of technology.
So how much time do you actually spend with your clients?
Well, that depends on the clients and what we're going there for. Sometimes we'll just pop in to say hi, see if they need anything, or we'll be changing copy, or whatever. Sometimes we'll be going over, it might be a first time meeting them, and so it might take an hour. Other people, it might be just changing the copy, and it'd be 15 minutes. So it just depends on what you're going for. So it could be 15 minutes to an hour, hour and a half.
What would be the toughest obstacles on the job?
Well, having clients getting back to you, a follow-up. A lot of times, we understand, we're salespeople. That's kind of like in our DNA, you know. I mean, who wants to follow up with a salesperson on a regular basis? I know I wouldn't, but you know,
Till the need's there.
yeah, pretty much. And I mean, especially when it comes to certain things that we have, like high school sports, or just certain things, or even a schedule that we sent them and they want it to start tomorrow. Well, we really need to get it, you know,
Through the process.
because it's not like, okay, we can just get it scheduled last second. I'm not saying we can't do that, because sometimes we do, but
It's nice to have it a little bit earlier so we can take time with it.
It is. So really, that's probably one of our biggest obstacles is follow-up. And sometimes I, you know, feel like I bug more just to get a follow-up. But I really try to do that just to stay on task, because there's so many different things at a different process that you really need the follow-up.
And some people appreciate that. I
Mhm.
mean, I have clients thank me because they dropped the ball or, you know, whatever, but they're appreciative of us following up.
Well, but they're busy running their business. It's our job to get them just to respond to us, and then that we can take it from there. They, you know, I mean, they've got an important job. I mean, they're running their business.
And they wear a lot of hats.
They do. So if we could make their life a little easier by bugging them, I'll do it.
Since you started, how much have you learned?
Oh, wow. Well, everything, because when I started, I really hadn't sold advertising before. And so I feel like over the years I've learned, as you know, each day and each client, you just learn from one to another and what to do and how to do it. So I would just say, with time and the years experience, I just have learned over the years.
Well, I've learned a lot over the years. I mean, I came from a radio background, but learning, my previous positions, I mean, I never was a VP of a radio station until here. So I had to learn how to really not manage people, but how to really lead, and which has never been a trait of mine, because I've either been a salesperson or an on-air person. I've never been really part of management. So leading people and knowing more of the ins and outs of radio rather than just music and commercials, I learned a lot of that. I learned a lot of the FCC stuff, and some other things that I normally wouldn't have. I mentioned earlier about one of my job duties is basically doing reports and things about, with all the licensing, which I never knew about, but I've learned how to do that. And I've also, you really have to learn a lot of the legal stuff when it comes to political advertising. It changes all the time. I mean, I think over 25 years that we've been here, it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 year it'll be this, 1 year it'll be that. It's just, you have to be up to date on all of the legal stuff with radio, what you can or cannot do with commercials.
And the political.
And political, for sure. So yes, I think, I've learned a lot with that over the years.
What makes you two so unique?
It's the longevity that we've been here. We kind of discussed this earlier. To be in sales, to be in radio sales, I mean, you're either gonna make it or you're not. And I mean, it may be, 2-3 year lifespan, really.
Yeah. 2 year is what I've heard.
And way back when I first started in radio, I was always told, if you make it 5 years in radio sales, you're going to be in it for a long time. So I think, with us being in radio sales here at the station for 27, close to 27 years, I think that's why it's so unique. And because
It's a good fit for us.
it really is. And you have to really, as a radio salesperson, you can't take things personal because it's not personal.
You have to have thick skin.
Yeah, when you're told no, you can't go back and just, oh my gosh, why did they not do that? No, that's not how you do things.
What did I do wrong, or
Yeah.
what did, and you can't take it personally, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And you might go see 10 people and they all might say no. And you might do that for 2 or 3 days. And you just have to keep putting yourself out there. Eventually you're going to have one say yes, or you'll have a day where 10 say yes. So,
That's an awesome day when you have 10 say yes.
yeah, that's when you ring the bell.
Yes, but that's what I guess makes us pretty unique, and we live here locally.
Right. So
I mean,
our customers, they're our friends, and we get to know them. We shop there, and I don't know. We're not like a fast salesperson that just goes in and then we're gone. We live here and we build rapport with our clients.
How many customers do you deal with on a daily basis or even a weekly basis?
Well, it just depends on the day. They're all different. Sometimes you might have 10 people a day, 5 people a day, and it depends if you're emailing back and forth or texting and seeing some, have appointments. Probably an average would be 10 a day.
Has there been any funny moments you two have had together?
Well, I would say as a station, one of my clients wanted to have a promotion with a tooth fairy, and so they had a male dressed up with a tutu as a tooth fairy, and that was kind of the promotion. Another one was we had Stupid Cupid on Valentine's promotion.
yeah.
And we had a limo and went around to businesses and did a promotion with Stupid Cupid. And we've had all kinds of fun things. Those are just a couple. I'm sure you've got more.
Well, I mean, and even with that, I mean, it was a male dressed up as Cupid, right?
Oh no, Cupid was Bobby.
Cupid was Bobby.
Cupid
Okay.
was Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm confusing that with probably the tooth fairy,
tooth
because
fairy.
that
That stood out in everybody's.
Yes.
We all remember that promotion.
yes.
So
But we internally, we've had our own. I mean, let's just get it right out there. I mean, we like to play practical jokes on people here within the. I mean, there have been practical jokes. Basically, I mean, the guys always talk about they want to hide a spider or a snake or something in my desk. I mean, they haven't done that. I'm not suggesting that they do.
what
But
did they put on Greg's car one time? Had a sign on it. And
it
then
did.
Somebody greased.
Student driver.
Okay. And then somebody greased the handles. That went around for a while on the car handles of the vehicles. They'd put grease or something. Doc might have did that.
I think so.
So, I mean, there's just been all kinds of fun things that we have done. But it's not just us, it's the whole station.
It really is. I know one of the guys decided to play a practical joke on someone, and they switched their like screensaver or desktop, and they couldn't get into their computer because they thought something was locked. And it was, I mean, you can't be serious 100% of the time.
Especially with radio.
Espe-
Being in radio.
Well, especially with, even with on-air people, I mean, you know that they're bound to laugh.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to play jokes, and obviously we're in the building, so what's better than play jokes on us?
On each other.
Yes.
And I remember the Easter Bunny that we have for our Easter events. Myself and Kathy Buzzard, that used to work here, we just could not stand that Easter Bunny laugh. And so
I'm not going to do that one.
I won't name names, but somebody put it on our computer, so every time we moved our mouse,
Oh, yes.
that Easter Bunny laugh would come on there. And it was just so annoying. But yeah, some thought that was really funny. We didn't. But jokesters.
Yes, we have a lot of fun, and I mean, that's just in our DNA, I guess.
Yeah.
So, did you envision yourself doing this job when you were younger?
Oh no. Let's see. My first vision was I wanted to be a clothing buyer. I wanted to live along the ocean in a condo and fly everywhere. I love to shop, and I wanted to be a clothing buyer. So that was my younger year vision. Then I went to college for accounting and worked at several jobs doing their books and things like that. And but I've always had music in my life. My dad played in a band, and so every weekend he was playing somewhere, or we were somewhere, they were having a jam session. So music's been in my life all my life. And it's just ironic that, you know, I'm in radio now, and I've always been around music.
Well, for me, even starting in elementary school, I always wanted to be a school teacher. I would always get extra worksheets or tests from my teachers so I could go home and be a teacher to my sister and her friends.
Poor Shelby.
Poor Shelby, yes. But I always wanted to do that. Now, fast forward to high school, I had actually planned on majoring in music and going to Eastern. I did that up until that was my plan, because again, like Angela, I played musical instruments in high school. I was in band, and so I thought that's what I want to do. It was a few months before I graduated. I thought, my Uncle Larry, I kept hearing him on the radio for many, many years. I thought that is like really cool. I would like to do that. So when I graduated high school, I decided to major in radio and go to Lakeland. And I'm so glad I did, because just a few weeks after I started, the fall of 1987, I was thrown on the college radio station. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I really enjoyed it. Funny thing, I had to take a sales class. I'm like, I am never going to be in sales. I don't understand that. That is not happening.
Yeah.
And fast forward to today, I'm in sales.
But 25 years.
Yes. So I wouldn't change anything, because I've learned a lot over the years. I've met a lot of different people. Got to go to a lot of concerts. Love those. Got to meet a lot of artists. Love that. So I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
Tonya Siner, Angela James, they were a very vital piece of the radio station here, kind of the glue to this station, honestly. Friends of mine, but also just they do a very good job. So I appreciate them taking the time for me and kind of behind the scenes of what they do and what their job title is and everything like that. So girls, I appreciate you taking the time for me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.